Okay, so last time we got, I try to remember, somewhere middle of 15 to the messengers with fierce faces that Osiris is going to command. I think 15.5. Aaron, keep me honest, you always know.
Yeah, I think we got right to the faces. So sort of middle of line 5, right of the plural sign, the plural.
Sounds good. And I think the hieratic, we didn't pick it up. I mean, we got as far as I think middle of 15.3 or thereabouts. So why don't we just do like a recap 2-in-1, look at the hieratic and also go quickly over the meaning just as a getting into the story again. So we have these ongoing letter exchanges now between the Lord of All, Preatum or Reatum and Osiris. And in the first exchange, Osiris already wrote back, "Hey, I'm the one who keeps you all nourished. I create the grain, I create the emmer. So you better. Why are you hurting my son Horus?" And that doesn't especially tickle Atum, so he writes back a one-liner essentially, even if you hadn't been born, the emmer and the grain would still grow. So don't think you're so important, basically, which was not the right tone to strike. So Osiris basically responds, and he writes, "Weninef." I mean, this is all familiar. "Weninef chabu or chab en pa re empare charachti an. An with the little walking back legs here at the end. So ein, en, and the walking back legs. So he wrote to Precharachti again, Mjed, saying, Nefer er Iker. And then there's a duplication sign here somewhere. Yep, sips now. So Nefer er Iker, Nefer er Iker. Excellent, like really excellent, or really good. What? Namely, pa pau. Actually, he spells it um with an extra W here, which you often see with the article when it's followed by a participle. Or in this case, a relative. Pau iruk, that which you have done. That which you have done, nib, everything that you have done. Okay, so really great, everything that you have done. I think hieratic-wise, so far, nothing really out of the ordinary. The iruk here could be a little bit surprising with a huge loop up here. Kind of hard to see because the quality of the photo isn't the greatest, but it makes perfect sense in context. Full form of the nib, not the little one where you have like two little strokes like this and then two other strokes, but this is like the full version, like you would also see in cursive hieroglyphs. Okay, and then comes something that last time we briefly discussed or I mentioned briefly that, yeah, that's not the most clear construction, but then we jumped on. And as I was going through it again this morning, I realized we should have talked a bit about this because it's really not clear. So let's go over this real quick. Pa gem, beautiful big gem bird here with tiny little wings. Pa gem, then the book roll that you always find with gem when it means to find. Pa gem ta pesjet, pa pesjet iret. Again, hieratic wise, how to make a mistake here. It says what it says. But what does that actually mean? So he has just said everything that you've done is really great, being super sarcastic there because he's not happy. And then he says, Pa gem ta pesjet en iret. And last time we had translated that with that which the pesjet found suitable or proper to do, basically, or what they have, yeah, what they found was the right thing to do, which in context make perfect sense. But what's going on here grammatically? And I said last time that translations generally came out this way. That is actually not correct. So I've looked a bit into this morning. Let me pull up what I copied here into our server. So the way it really is, Ramses Online did what I said they did. Namely, they said that what the Ennead found right to do. Okay. Ellie, on the other hand, it's extremely beautiful what you have done, O creator of the Ennead, with what you have brought about. So he's taking that whole sentence very differently, in basically assuming that the gem means to found or to create, not to find, and that this is like some kind of address to Reatum as founder of the Ennead. So very completely different movie, basically. And he's not alone there. Gardner actually does that too. Gardner simply has thou inventor of the Ennead in very truth, for this little fragment here. On the other hand, Ramses seems to be taking it from Lichtheim. Lichtheim has, and what the Ennead has found to do. So that was the translation that we ended up with the last time. And the reason why it's important is we're going to find almost the same construction again today in line 15.7. So let's take a look at what's going on here. And I had something prepared for you guys, which unfortunately is all in German. So I'll help out a bit. So that's actually a cool thing about the TLA. The TLA has extensive commentary. So if you look up a text in there, you can often find like a little essay, and there is one here. So let me translate this real quick. So they say Pagemita Pesjet, typically translated as the founder of the Ennead. However, the determinative in Gemi, only the book roll being present, suggests that it's being used as a verb, not as a noun, as founder, but as to find. Correspondingly, or in accordance with this, Lichtheim translates it as what the Ennead has found. Same for basically all these scholars here. However, if you assume that there could have been a spelling mistake, it could also have been a mistake from like hearing the wrong word, and it could be Kema Pesjet, the one who creates the Ennead. So that's essentially Gardner's solution. So basically, what it means is we don't really know. There's two different ways how to approach this this little fragment here, or not fragment, this little piece. Interestingly, I was wondering where did they get indeed from? And they also explained that here in the TLA. Irit, which we translated with in what they've been doing or what they found good to do, typically translated, they say here, as indeed. For example, as part of the title in Gardner, or just to reinforce the whole statement in Spiegel or Schüssler. Okay, I'll leave that. In any case, whether this is the intended meaning is, however, uncertain. We would rather have expected something like emat, if you wanted to say in truth, verily. So this is a bit unusual, basically. I tried to find another Irit somewhere. Here's a link to the Wörterbuch. It's not really there. I mean, at least I didn't see it. Didn't find anything in Ramses online. Lichtheim translated it as what the Ennead has found, so as like a future participle, what should have been done. Same for Brunner Traut, Junge. So yeah. Then a final comment here, problematic about this translation, as in the thing that should be done or was done, is that in late Egyptian, typically, if you're talking about an indefinite subject, it would be masculine, not like a Middle Egyptian feminine. So they're basically pointing that out, that that's a problem with assuming that Irit is some kind of the thing that was done or the thing that should be done, referring to like a neuter abstract thing that should really be masculine, shouldn't be feminine. I'll pause there. Long essay. Got on a bunny ride here this morning, but it's kind of interesting. So this construction is more complicated than it may seem on the face of it. Any thoughts or any comments on this one?
Just wanted to say quickly, in German, the word for Ennead is just nine gods, and then height. What is height on the end?
Height is like
Is
hood
that like group?
like hood in English. It's the same etymologically. It's the same same element like personhood or priesthood or the
Like neighborhood?
Like neighborhood. It's basically a
So it makes a collective noun, sort of.
Right. So neun
cool,
is
thanks.
nine, and the neunheit is the nine head, so to say, or the nine hood, however you want to render that in.
So it's the nine god neighborhood, basically.
Correct.
Or something. Okay, cool. Thanks.
So to say, yeah. The collective of nine gods. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that makes
So that's the thing here.
So
Maybe
sorry,
we'll
when they say there's a problem that it's feminine, are they just talking about the T at the end?
yes.
Okay, so that's not just the infinitive T, that's a feminine substantive participle T is what they're arguing?
That's another way. So, in the
I was going to say,
doing,
isn't the T just declension for like an adjectival ending? In this case, it's just a relative.
Hmm.
if it is a relative, it would be a feminine relative, though, right? So that's where the criticism is coming from, where they're saying if this is like a participle, actually, if that's some kind of participle, that what should be done or something.
I thought the T was like the entity. It serves as the entity. That's the that and the that should be done. So well, I guess we could say it's feminine, but not feminine like as in like a well, not sexual gender.
Right. It's not that the person who does it, the actor, is feminine. Although that actually, now that I think about it,
Although Pessojet is feminine.
exactly, the pestet is feminine. That's actually a really good point. But wait, if this, I'm trying to think of my Middle Egyptian here, and we just had that
Well,
in.
I think they were arguing that it being feminine like this would be correct if it were Middle Egyptian.
Correct.
Because this is late, they're saying that it would now be genderless. But could it be a fossilized form?
It could be, or it could also be that it was pronounced with a vowel at the end, and they just wrote the T because that's what you do when it ends in. I mean, it's another. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it's
really
not much of a T. Look at the hieratic. Barely even there.
well, that is a good
Something
point.
there.
That's
It's almost
actually
like he started to write a T and then thought, oh, wait, no, this is late
right.
Egyptian. There shouldn't be.
Well, we used to have a theory that sometimes the gods speak archaically because
Yeah.
they're old or that's their register or something.
This happens in some books.
Makes
Like, for example, I'm thinking of a nice Chinese example, the Journey to the West, or popularly known Monkey. Depending on which character is speaking, they change the register. I think that also happens but that's outside of my expertise in like Sanskrit versus Prakrit, that you have different levels going on in Indian text, but that's outside of my area. You have it in Sumerian too with Emisal, that certain that there's two different registers or two speech forms. So yeah, it could be. Although honestly, did we see that? Did we notice any kind of archaisms so far?
We did, like a long time ago. I think even back when Christian was still with us, there we noted at times, sometimes when the gods were speaking, they were doing like sort of a highfalutin, old-fashioned, like the way someone would try to speak Shakespearean English. They were trying to be really grand.
That is interesting. I mean, that would be worth doing a bit more digging on. There is a paper. It's one of the satirical papyri. It's a really great study on which verb forms that are being used are colloquial and which ones are formal. Basically grouping them into different buckets. I'll look that up. I'll put it later into the chat into a chat. That was an interesting. There are not too many attempts that I've seen where people actually go into analyzing registers. So that's the most prominent I can think of in terms of formality or less formality. Could be. So yeah, this one is a bit of a mystery. Is it the creator of the Ennead, or is it what they have found to do, namely the Ennead?
I like
but
our version better. It makes more sense, I think.
it kind of does, right?
Yeah.
more literal to the word gemi. Yeah.
Let me go on real quick, just so that we make some headway. So you did or did to as one gives gives what? A really long W here, by the way. Did to Harpu submerge, as indicated by the three water lines here. Harpu what? Harpu Ma'at, spelled here as the goddess. That truth is submerged. Truth is submerged where or how? Mchenu with a little house here at the end because it's a location. Inside, in the inside of what? In the inside of, this is a star here, inside of the Duat, so of the underworld. So all the things that you've done while truth is being submerged in the underworld. Okay, let's continue. Ich Petrak, that's that weird spelling that we discussed before of Peter, which for some reason is like one is third, one is the reed leaf, and one is another third. So that's just the way he always does it. OC or may you see pa secher with a nice ligature here. Secher secher ger entok. May you also see your situation, basically. Take a look at your situation, as it's saying. Basically, take a look at your situation. Pata, as for the land, enti tui. This is the T from Coptic, basically, the new subject pronoun, that I am off, that I am in it. So as for the land that I'm in, su mech em uput. Yeah, he just says upu here. I think it should be uputio. It's full of messengers. The M always comes with mech. To be full of something, filled with something, takes M. We've seen that before. So it's full of messengers. Maybe interesting here. So here is the walking leg, which is just like a regular B, but with a little tick on top. And then those messengers are Chesa, Cheru. They are fierce of face. So with fierce faces. That's as far as we got the last time. I would say nothing super astounding in the hieratic. Any more questions on this one? Or are we back up to speed?
So sorry, the I there is a determinative on Hissa?
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Why? Fierce. Fierce seems to have an I determinative. Is that always the case?
Staring at you.
Staring at you, yeah. Let's have a quick look at that. That's actually a good point. I
Like
didn't
the
think of
eyes
that.
that are on ships to be apotropaic, on the barge, that the Greeks inherited from the Egyptians, maybe.
Oh,
Or the Greek warships would have this large Egyptian-looking eye on them. I think the Egyptians had it first.
Is that actually anywhere on Egyptian ships? I really don't know.
I
I've seen it on
feel
Greek
like
ships.
it is on some barges, on the funerary barges. I'm pretty sure there are large eyes on them.
I think you're right.
Think.
Let's take a look at that in a moment. So here's another example. Oh no, this is from Horus and Seth a little bit earlier. It also has the eye. Okay, great. Is that the only thing we have? Yeah, only one citation. Savagery. Here it's without the eye. Well, let's put it this way. Our writer likes to write it with an eye.
Yeah. Well, and I guess it has to be a determinative because like the verb doesn't make any sense there.
Oh no, that's certainly not. Also, it would be. Isn't it a different eye? Let's take a quick look.
It's the wrong eye for ear.
It's the wrong eye. It's the
decorating one.
It's exactly. It's the one with extra eyelashes.
The one with the eyeliner. Yeah.
Indeed. No. Yep. There you go. This one has eyes. They're kind of hard to see, but
yeah,
it does have eyes on it. Here we go. This is better visible. Oh, so that's a really interesting point. I had never thought that this came to Greece from Egypt, but it might have.
They got a lot of things from Egypt, like the concept of having columns.
The what? I'm sorry.
The concept of having columns in architecture.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure. At least it's related.
Yeah. I mean, if you
look at Herodotus certainly says they got a lot of things from Egypt, but
that's true.
Yeah, but some of those things, like the gods, I don't think the Egyptians. I don't know if you can say like the Egyptian gods directly inspired the Greek gods. I think that's
no.
I don't think I can trust that much.
That's unlikely, I would say. But if you look like, for example, at early Mediterranean, Greek, archaic, like statues, a lot of them look kind of Egyptian-esque in their posture and everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The sculpture. I'm pretty sure the orientalizing aspect of the early archaic Greek sculpture was inspired by Egyptian sculpture. They're even in the same pose. The difference is that the arms are separated from the statue. They're carved, and oftentimes they fell off over time. But the Egyptian ones are like solid. And there's a really good example in a lot of art history books will show this one statue of a pharaoh where he's walking, and then it'll have right next to it one of the Kouros statues from Greece, and it'll have from the archaic period, and they are almost like in the same exact pose. Just one has the arms connected and is naked, and the other one is fully dressed in Egyptian, and the arms are connected to the side. So,
how do I spell the name of the statue?
Kouros.
Kuroi.
Kuroi, or OI for the plural.
Okay. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
You do that. Yeah, so they're naked. So, but if you compare them with the Egyptian ones, there's a standing Egyptian pharaoh statue with a walking stick, and it's almost the same pose. That's the one that's usually compared.
I mean, this does have some similarity, no doubt. But I thought I had seen even more striking examples. Have to search
You really
again
kind
for
of have
it.
to see them side by side.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You see one?
Oh, never mind. If you do versus Egyptian, maybe.
Okay.
Feel like this is sorry, I didn't mean to get us sidetracked.
No, that's fine.
They might show. Yeah, there's some. So the 1 foot forward.
This one here. That's
Yeah,
the
there you go.
That's the one that just caught my eye too.
And
I
then,
mean,
yeah, ones where they're in the same image side by side, and then there's those two on the bottom left, the middle left.
those two middle left.
You see the one that says geometric and archaic and ancient Greek artifacts. That shows a direct comparison with the pose.
Yeah, I mean that.
But yeah,
I mean, I often say there's only so
the
many
proportions are
ways.
squad-based. That's
There's
true. Yeah, and they're both kind of idealized. So,
But this does, I mean, at first glance, you would say, and considering that the cultures were in context, we're not trying to correlate something that's very far away. I don't know.
right.
But I've
And
seen
there were Mesopotamian influence in Greek art in the earlier period as well. So,
Interesting, isn't it? While we're on gods, by the way, maybe one last thing here. The messengers that we just talked about. Okay, the messengers of Re are the ones that carry the bar and the corpses, basically. So there are a few notes here on those messengers because I was wondering who are they, those Aputiu. Last time we said almost like what was it? Like in Harry Potter, basically some kind of spirits that come after you or something of that nature. I guess that's what the threat is that we're looking at here. Somebody who's going to drag you to the underworld. With that being said, shall we continue? So they're fierce of face, and then I would say we could just continue with a little EU here, if somebody wants to take it. Jeopardy music playing.
I'll go.
All right. Thank you.
It's good to hear me. All right. Yeah. So we're at, there we go. So we're at U, Ben, Set, Senedu.
Yes, that's right.
Senedu, Ni, Nature, Neb.
I should have started writing with you. Yeah. Ben, Set, Senid. Yeah. And then you said in Nature, Neb.
Nature.
Shared.
Wait, Nature. Wait, I have a bread loaf. Is that Set? I have Nature with a bread loaf and an egg behind it. Wait a minute. Oh, Nature that.
That's right. That's the normal Lady Egyptian way how to spell it. With with the egg and with the snake. That's very common for goddess, for the female version of God.
No, the two bread loaves kind of threw me off for a minute. But okay, yeah, Nechoret.
Makes sense.
All right. And then we have UE.
Excuse me. Yeah, UE. Hang on. Should challenged here. Oof. Sorry. There we go. UE. Yeah.
And then we have Redit.
Mhm.
Peri. Sin. Imtusin. Or Imtusin. Ini. Hat. Hati or Hat.
Yeah, Hat. Let's say with Hat.
Nipa. Netineb. Netineb. Iret. And like Sepu.
Yeah, and this one is tricky.
Sepu.
Seppu, yeah. And not just any Seppu, but it's a Seppu. This one is hard
Oh,
to guess.
that bird there's not a it's not a deterrent. It says where Sepu Weru.
Or which it's, if you look at the hieratic, you see it's the other bird. It's not the swallow, but it's the bad bird. So I'm just gonna say Seppu Bin. That's what I've seen in the translations that we have access to. And I think that's where yes, and then that's where that sentence, let's stop there.
Okay.
Cool. Let me zoom out again. Sorry, messed up the layout here a bit. So what do we make out of it?
All right. So we have you. Let me go back here. There we go. So, and don't today. And they don't, what's Senedu?
Snidu is
not they.
again.
No, I said not they. I said they, but and
They is right. Snidu is be afraid. Comes from snid to fear.
Oh, they have no fear of any of the gods, of the female gods.
Yeah, there should be, at least I think I've seen that in several translations. There should be another neb here, which is left out. It would make more sense that way.
Female gods. All right. And then I have, and I put the house, their house. Wait, no, Betty. No, that's not the house. Nope, scratch that. That's not house. This is causative. They were not permitted or allowed to go.
Why? You're close, but why not? Yui reri perisen.
Allow, and I permitted, or I allowed them to go, or allowed them to go out. To go.
You're getting close. Now, let me give another hint. What tense do you think this is? Yui, and then in infinitive, and then, like you said, it's a causative construction.
Oh, it's past tense. I did not allow them to go.
What would be I did not give?
Did I give?
In late Egyptian.
I did not give. You ready to gim? Oh, not give. No, you said I'm getting confused. I did not. You said I did not go, or I did not give.
I did not give. They have a special tense for I did not do something, or a special construction for that.
Did not. Let's see. We have the infinitive. Wait, I did not give. So with you, give, ready.
Yeah. Let me help a bit. In late
Okay.
Egyptian, it would be this. Bupui.
This poo thing.
Bupui RD. I did not give. Just like in Coptic, then you would basically say MP, MPD or something. I did not give. So this is key. So it cannot be a negative past tense or something. It's a you plus a suffix pronoun plus an infinitive. That's actually a clue. There's probably something missing in between.
Oh, is this the UE hair ready? Redit?
It could be, or what other preposition could be in the middle? If it's not red, there's one more option.
Well, it's not a verb of motion, so it wouldn't be M,
That's correct.
right? Er. Oh no,
Yes.
that'd be a future.
No. Let's stay with that. If it were Yui Erudit, what would it be?
I will allow them to go out, or I will permit them to go, or cause them to go.
And that makes perfect sense, right? So he was just talking, I have all these messengers of fears of face around me where I'm at. Yui Erudit Perisen. I will allow them that they go out with the subjunctive, that they will go out, and then let's see how it goes on. You had Mtusen Ini, Hati or Hat, Enpa et Nip. Naja, let's continue there.
So M2sin. So this M2 is I got what this is.
Conjunctive, the connecting form. We didn't officially have that yet, but it has appeared a few times. It basically and.
Oh, the conjunctive.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay, and you. So and they, right? So and they any hat return to or come to the front or bring to the front.
Bring, let's say with a basic meaning. Now, hat with a little heart at the end. What does it mean? The old word would be ib, but in late
Right.
Egyptian Coptic, it changes.
I know word for heart is hat, hati.
That's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is. So ini hat en panip, pa
To the
et
heart.
nip. Mhm.
The heart of all that which was done.
Mhm.
And
That-
sipu.
Sepin.
I don't know this word, sipu. What's this?
Sep can be a time, or I think it can be a deed.
Oh, that's like steps in almost. Sep. Okay, so time. Sepu. So it's nominalized. All that which was done. You said an event or
An event, or in this case, I think deed fits better, like something that was done.
that which was done. All the bad deeds or all the bad
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Somebody sees it differently.
All the bad deeds that were done. Okay.
Put the whole thing together in your mind. I think it will make sense in a second. So I have all these guys with fierce faces around me who are not afraid of any god or goddesses. And Yui dit perisen entusen ini hat en pa enti nip irit sepin or ban or however that was pronounced. Yeah.
And I will permit them to go out and they will bring the hearts of all that which, oh, that don't make sense. Bring the heart of all that which was done at this evil event.
How about if you change the which here to who?
What's not all that? All those who, all. So who? Neti Neb.
All those who? Iret seppi bin.
All those who had done evil deeds or.
That's it. That's his threat. I mean, that's at least how I took it. Does anybody else have something else on this one from prep work or from reading it now?
That makes sense, but I think heart is singular, so I think he's threatening someone in particular.
That's an interesting question. When you, in this case, would you say I take the heart of everyone or the hearts of everyone? I could have sworn I've seen that before, where like hand was also singular. Where logically you would say, hey, this should be plural, but it's not necessarily the case.
Pa is a little bit, pa neti is a little bit fossilized or something. It's not neti.
I think it's more like when you see a group of people, like it hit them in the eye or it hit them in the eyes. Do you put the singular or do you put the plural? It's more like, how does the human brain construe that? I think it's more like that. I agree with you. Logically, it should be take the hearts of all those who committed an evil deed. But then if you make it singular in English, take the heart of anybody who committed an evil deed, then suddenly it makes sense. And I think nib is one of those. Is that a singular? Is that construed as singular or as plural? I don't know.
I think it could be, if you have it as singular, it could be a concept of collective.
Yep.
Like almost like a poetic singular or poetic plural. So
Right.
Yeah. That's right. I had forgotten neb can be any, so maybe with pa neb is just anyone.
Right.
But it wouldn't bad times be a better translation, perhaps? Or those are made bad times.
Yes. Well, in the Zeps,
then you're threatening something certain.
are
Not
plural.
people do bad shit, but those who caused this bad situation.
Yeah, let's have a look. I agree. I mean, I hesitate a little bit when I said sep as deed.
No, it does mean deeds. It can
It
be
does say
deeds.
deed. It can
Can
be
mean
deed, right?
time, occasion, or deeds.
Okay. I thought so
okay,
too.
cool.
I thought I've
That's
seen
a
it as
big range
deed
of
before.
meaning.
So then it suddenly makes sense, right? Because think about what a moment ago what Osiris said. He said, why are you hurting my son, Horus? And then he says, you're doing really great up there on Earth while justice is being submerged in the Duat. Justice is only there basically in the Duat. Why justice in the Duat? I mean, what's Osiris' role? He's presiding over the judgment of the dead, right? With a big scale and everything, making sure that all your justices and injustices in life are being weighed out. So there definitely is justice in the Duat, but he's saying it's not up there. And by the way, I'm going to send my guys out there. I'm going to take the heart back of everybody who did evil. So basically, look at yourselves right now. Are you sure you want to go forward with this? Is this what you want to do?
Make sure you keep all your receipts in the underworld. This is a business.
You know what? This all makes sense because he's Lord of the Duat, and there are these beings with these knives in the underworld who are ready to pounce on you.
Exactly. That's what he's saying.
Behind.
All those scary guys that you see like later in the later New Kingdom description of the underworlds, all those guys with knives and fire and whatnot. Yep. You know what? Right now they're here, but I can let them out. They listen to
And
me.
there is one called Fierce of Face. There's one, his name is Fierce of Face.
Yeah. Right. Indeed.
Everything you do here is tax deductible.
Should we go on? Great job, by the way. Well done. So yeah, let's continue. He's not completely done yet. So let me see if I can clean this up here. There's another conjunctive here. Who wants it? Oops. Better give myself more space.
I can take it.
All right.
Mtusen kepru di erchanai.
I think actually that's where the sentence ends, but let's, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I'll just take it then. And they will be here with me.
Yes.
Is this another R plus infinitive with a missing R?
Not necessarily, because what the conjunctive does is it continues whatever tense you had before. So
right, isn't that what it was? R plus infinitive.
It was.
They will bring and they will be.
Yes, it just wouldn't need an R. I wonder if it would need a.
Oh, I see.
It may need a her, I guess, but I don't think it needs an R.
Okay.
In the conjunctive, but yeah, you had it right, and excellent.
Okay, so here with me. Okay, yeah.
Okay, hang on, too fast. Yeah.
Ich.
Ich.
Pai.
Yep.
Keprudi.
Perudi. Uh-huh.
Hetep ek.
Uh-huh.
Her imentet.
Yes.
Pause there. Iya. What's iya?
It's an
Is
exclamation.
it like an O? Okay.
It's like an O, and ja, ich is a fixed thing. Like, what is this? What is this thing? Basically, it's a way how to ask for a reason, or what's up with would be the colloquial translation. What's up with something?
So like why? Why?
You could, but maybe keep it literal first, and then
Okay,
we'll find a place.
What's up with my
Mm-hmm.
being here? Your peace, your rest. What's the what?
That's weird, huh?
In the west, her imentet in the west.
Mm-hmm. Now is a tomb
I
in
don't
the
know
west?
about this hetep.
Yeah, let's
What's
take a
that?
look at it. I said a tomb, is he in the west? No, he isn't, right? So the ek cannot be directed to Reatum or Prekarachti.
Oh, is this stative?
Yes,
Is
it's a stative.
hetep kui? Okay. So what's up with my being here, resting in the west?
Correct. And for this to make sense, we need to take the next part, which is while something else.
U10 and boo and what, I guess?
What is this whole thing? En boon.
Oh, it's our bowl. Oh my God.
It is.
Group writing.
Yes.
Jesus. U10 arbol urger. Stepsnu, urger.
Correct. Exactly.
Wow.
All right.
While you are out on the borders?
Why on the borders? What's urger?
Urger. Oh, no. Completely.
Yep.
Well, you're completely outside. I don't know what that means.
While you're all outside, basically, like all of you.
Why am I stuck here while you're all out there?
Exactly.
Okay.
Why am I stuck in the underworld? I mean, yeah, okay, he's the king of the underworld, but still, it's not nice, right? You'd rather you'd rather be out among the living. So what am I doing down here, resting in the underworld, with you all being out there, all of you? That's essentially his complaint. I can change that.
Is the word D, the dy, is that here or is that down?
Here. It's here.
Just
and
here.
It still exists in Coptic as, I think, oh, Ralph, keep me honest, Thai, I think. Thai, I think it's Thai. It's not, it's normally you would say in this place in Coptic, but it does exist. I've seen it before.
Right, that sounds familiar. Like there's Thai meaning this feminine, but it's confusing because there's another Thai that means here or something.
And that's the one.
Yeah.
That's your D. So that lives on in limited usage.
So
Okay.
I also want to ask about the word for heart in Coptic, that's heat. That's related to hot, right?
That's it.
Okay.
So it basically goes away. There is a magical text in Old Coptic, which once has ape and once has oop. And the assumption is that that is the old ape, that it was still used in like magical or formal or whatnot language. But in Coptic, it's gone completely. It's replaced by heat or hate. Yep. 10808 or
Is
something.
that in Demotic?
No, it's in
That's Demotic?
it's in Greek letters, which is the cool thing about it.
Oh, cool.
But the
Nice.
problem is it's so hard to understand, because what you'd hope is that you could maybe get some of those verb forms that didn't survive in Coptic, or some of those words that didn't survive in Coptic. But the problem is, since there's no bilingual, you have to figure out from something that doesn't follow your normal spelling conventions, what does every sentence mean? It's it's not an easy thing. I've looked at it before, and every time. Do they have the text here somewhere? I'll look it up later. Don't want to hold us up with it right now, but it was an interesting
good.
one. Where were we? Ibn Khed. So yeah, any other questions about this sentence? Otherwise, quite straightforward, right? So it's a couple of the last one was a couple of conjunctives, and this one here is just this. What about blah blah blah? Then yeah, like a nominal construction. The staying of mine here while stative upon the underworld, or in the underworld, while you, so having a what's the word? You circumstantial, having a circumstantial here, while you, and then another adverbial sentence, while you are out, all of you. Okay, let's take a quick look at the hieratic. So we had EU with the long W. EU ben set. Why set? Because set is the form of the suffix pronoun, so of the subject pronoun, which later becomes se in Coptic. Ben set, snidu, a two-man, snidu en, nacher, nip. This is the simplified form of nip that we talked about. And Sheret, with the goddess snake here at the end. UE, so it's a UE, then a missing deet, peri, that's a subjunctive, perisen, that they come out. Right? Yeah, M2 sin, so that's a conjunctive, and they will what? They will ini, then here's the hati, or yeah, hati. I think it should be E actually, now that I think about it, because the T is still there in Coptic, so it has to be protected by something. So there has to be a vowel here. Hati, the ip is not read, it's just hati, en, pa, enti, or neti, nim, or nip, sorry, iret, sepu, bin. Yeah. So far, so good. Let's continue down here. M2, sen heper. M2, sen heperu, D. And like Aaron very correctly said, and they will be with me, because this continues the future. So it's not talking about the beings that are with him, but those whose hearts will be snatched, they will then have to be with him, Osiris. Chenai and Chenai, with me. Ja, ich, what about? Pai, this, Cheperu, this being of mine. Cheperu dai, honestly the dai is hard to read. Or D is hard to read. There's a D, there's a Y, but that little way sign here is, well, pretty much squished together. You sort of have to know what that is. Dai, wait. Dai. This is weird, isn't it? I mean, there's a P here. There's a U. And so this looks, does that look right?
There's another one on line 8. We can compare them, see if it makes it clearer.
Okay, let's do it. 8. Number 8 down here. Oh yeah, it does write it like this. I mean,
It looks a little bit like when you have an olive bird like sign, or an abstract sign like a Z shape, and then you add a little extra dot to distinguish it between that and some other signs. I wonder if this is
yeah.
one of the ones that.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see this happening is this is obviously the stuff that's on top, right? The whatever sits on this offering table, and then this is the shape here itself, and this is the T. But it's interesting. Maybe we haven't looked at that before. Akku panel. Okay, Akku wood panels. Really? This is better. Okay, with a dash in the middle. And this would be my usual shortcoming. I don't know what they're called. Okay, glyph number. Is it in here? No. R4. R4. Okay. All right, so it has like a little Y. That makes sense. Little Y on top of an R. And then you can see if you like make that more and more vertical, it starts to look like this, like an R with 2 strokes on top. Or like this. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Then like that. Okie doke. And then if you add a T underneath, you get exactly what we get. So that actually kind of makes sense. Just you have to know that that's how you do it. That T is huge though. It makes more sense in line number 8, honestly. Where's 8? Here's 8. Here we go. I mean, that T is a little bit more well behaved. I think this is easier to understand. So here are your 2 strokes. Here's the shape in the middle, the R, so to say, and here's the T. Okay, that works. Works for me. Let's finish this up real quick. So this is our I'm still stuck with this. So our hit tip, and then this is the book roll with a K squished underneath, a really vertical K. The K I would have seen that this is a book roll. Takes a little bit of a leap of faith here. This is odd. Oh, but then a very clearly visible her imented, really simplified, just a line with almost like an S underneath. The 2 T's are a bit of a challenge too. I wouldn't have claimed that that's obvious, that that's what that is. So her imented, Iuten e bol, or en bol actually, en bol, en banner, big determinative stroke, our way glyph and walking legs, Jeru. That part is, again, normal, like what we know. And then after the book roll and plural strokes, you have 2 repetition signs. Okay. I would say let's continue there next time.
Real quick, could you
yes,
point
sir.
at hair again? They did do hair. Is it 2? I thought hair was 1 stroke. Hair imented.
Good, imented. Should be, no, should be more.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too.
Where we go here. So this is the her, and this is the determinative stroke after it. And how does this come about?
Isn't hair like kind of like that?
It can be.
Or like that?
Let's look at it.
Is it
Hair
normally
goes.
a Z?
Go again.
Isn't it normally like a Z sign, sort of? With like 1 stroke?
I know you can make it
Forgetting.
open like that too, and then down,
There's 2 ways.
or a squiggle.
You're both right. Let's take a look at that.
Oh, okay. That's another compliment thing.
So what your oops.
Mhm.
What on earth?
There it goes.
Oh, that's cute. And how do I get out of this? Ah, better. Hang on, let me just take care of all the annotations here. So here we go. What you're probably thinking about for like a good middle kingdom card, it sort of looks like this, right? Like some kind of has a loop and then somehow ends in a hook at the bottom. Or maybe like this. Then later, no. I don't see it. I don't see what I'm looking. I'm sort of looking for this here, this shape. We have like a dot and then that, and then this long sign underneath. And actually, now that I'm not sure if that's really an R. I remember somebody explained it to me once this way that there's like another that the thing underneath that unmotivated stroke is an R. Now I'm not completely certain because as I'm looking at this, it could also just be a logical continuation of that hook here. Not 100% clear on this, to be honest.
Just a simple, different way of writing it in a simplified way without the circle in it.
I mean, yeah, the thing about it is it's like one of the most common signs, right? You need it for the it's such a ubiquitous preposition. You need it for tense forms as well. It's understandable why you make it into some kind of, yeah, like a little bit odd
Yeah, it
special
makes
sign.
sense why there's so many variants. It's why like
Right.
some verb forms are so common. They have so many, they're more likely to be irregular.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, that's how I heard here. And then it like the text that we're looking at, it always has a determinative stroke on the side of it, which is huge, generally in hieratic. So yeah, that's that. Our scribe normally does this. Not so much like a ligature. I think yeah. He could also do this very vertical thing, but he doesn't do that. All right, shall we leave it there for today? Thank you. Talk soon and have a good weekend.
Thank you.
So yeah.
Yep.
Hi.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye
You guys
bye.
too. Take care.